Today I'm going to be talking about setting goals and taking you through a process that will hopefully make your goals a little bit more manageable and mean that you're more likely to be able to make progress on them as we come towards the end of the year. Hello, if you're new, then welcome to the Performing Arts and Me. My name is Millie and I'm a musical theatre graduate. As a musical theatre graduate, I'm currently self-employed, freelancing, etc, etc, etc. And I feel like as freelancers especially, it's quite important to set goals because it's not necessarily like a set path for you to take. Maybe if you're in a company, you would work your way up and like get promotions and stuff. But as a freelancer, if you're balancing lots of different jobs, then like your career path might not be as clear. So I think goal setting is really important. And also I love like personal development and stuff. So some of the goals that I have aren't even like career related goals. But anyway, so I'm going to be taking you through a process today and sharing some of my goals with you. Hopefully the goals will inspire you and hopefully you can use the process to plan your own goals and to start working towards them. So let's get started. So step 1 of my progress. I'm filming this at the end of September, so these goals are for October, kind of to the end of the year, which is the last quarter of the year, Q4, if you talk in like quarters. So there's 3 months left of 2025. The first step that I would recommend is to go back to your New Year's resolutions. If you wrote them down somewhere, then go and find where you wrote them down. If you didn't write them down, see if you can remember them. Don't worry if you can't find your New Year's goals or you've forgotten them. You can skip ahead to the next section. But if you do have your New Year's goals, have a look at them and see, have you met any of them already? Are there any that you are no longer interested in meeting? And are there any that you haven't met yet? So I went back to the start of my journal, which I have here, welcome to 2025, and I went to January and I had a look at my New Year's goals. So I had 6. Out of those, I would say I've completed 2 of them, which is get a first in my degree and get a good performing job, which was vision. I did actually set like a couple of criteria for the good performing job, which was either an income goal or a venue location, and vision didn't actually meet either of those, but I would still class it as a good performing job, so I'm happy to tick that off as done. Vision was great. I did a musical called Vision. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll leave some of the videos linked up in the cards. So see if you ticked off any of the goals. Next thing to do is see if any of the other remaining goals you're actually not interested in achieving anymore. So one of them was put my authentic expression of myself out there more, which I feel like I've half done. When I think back to like when I set this goal, I think that was in terms of like being more confident to dress how I wanted and stuff like that. Putting myself out there more, I don't know if I've really done that, but I'm not really interested in doing that. So that goal is no longer on my priority list, which leaves me with 3 other goals: earn a living and save doing things I enjoy, develop my faith and continue working on my health, which are all things that I think I still want to keep working on in this last quarter of the year. So once you've found what you still want to keep working on, then I want you to write those down somewhere at the top of your sheet of paper or whatever it is you're planning on. If you didn't have your New Year's goals, then just set a couple, maybe 2 or 3. I don't really have a number, I'm not a personal development guru, and I know that these goals are quite unspecific for me, but we're going to break them down more. But maybe just set a couple or a few overarching goals. So once you've written down your goals, either from your New Year's resolution list or from your brain, I then did a brainstorm of the things that I would be interested in doing to achieve those goals by the end of the year. I'm not going to show you this page because it's kind of messy. It's supposed to be messy, it's a brainstorm. So I was jotting down things that would come under that goal and also other things that I wanted to do before the end of the year to meet other goals that I had kind of in my mind of things that I want to achieve. So I have things on this that are related to skills. So I want to do my grade 8, for example, in piano, which kind of is towards the earn a living doing things I enjoy section, but it's potentially not really specifically related. I have an income goal for side hustles. I have other skill related things to do with musical theatre, so I've got some accents I want to learn, a lot of music related things written down here, and I've tried to write down other things related to the other 2 goals as well. So I've got reading the Bible and praying for 10 minutes every day. In terms of my goal of health, that's more to do with mental health, and it's not something that I really want to talk about in this video. So just know that there is a more detailed version of that goal on here, but I just don't really want to talk about it. So I'm going to focus on talking about the other 2 as we go through the rest of this video. Okay, so from this brainstorm of different ideas, which are kind of all just jotted down, I've then tried to break up these goals into 3 sections. For example, having grade 8 prepared on the piano. If you've never done an ABRSM piano music exam, there's 3 pieces: sight reading, oral tests, and scales and arpeggios. They're the like sections of the exam. So I've broken down that goal into 3 sections. Have B piece prepared and a third of A piece. Have C piece prepared, the pieces are in A, B and C. Have C piece prepared and a third of A piece. And have A piece prepared and listening tests. Scales and arpeggios I'm kind of ignoring for now. Maybe I shouldn't be, but I am. And sight reading is a whole other goal because I really want to work on my sight reading. So yeah, breaking down these goals into 3 sections. And the reason I'm doing 3 sections is because Q4 has 3 months in it. So these are effectively monthly goals that I'm breaking these down into. Now some of them don't have monthly goals. For example, reading the Bible / praying for 10 minutes a day is kind of specific enough as it is, and it's not something that I necessarily want to tick off. I haven't said like, oh, I want to read this much of the Bible. I've just said I want to spend that much time each day doing it. And I've also specified here, so to like make it more detailed, is I've said I'm going to do it when I go to bed. And I've put like the time slot I want to do it in, so that hopefully I'm more likely to actually do it. So next step in the video, after you've done your brainstorming, is break it down into 3 sections, or set specific goals that you're going to do like every day or every week or whatever it is, and add more detail to them. The final section is more of a monthly planning. So we're now into goals for October, because that's the month we're doing this. If you're watching this in a different quarter, a different month, goals for whatever month is coming up. And what I want you to do is to take your goals, take your first goal of each section. So for example, prepare your B piece and a third of the A piece for me, for the piano. And then you're going to break that down into weekly tasks. So I've broken down my first goal into 4, because there are 4 weeks that I will be able to work on this goal during this month. So for example, I have learn page 2 of the B piece, brackets rest of piece, because the piece is 2 pages long, and I've already learnt pretty much all of the first page, so I basically mean finish learning the piece. Then my second thing is get the B piece to tempo. So if I'm playing it under tempo, get it up to speed. Step 3 is learn page 1 of the A piece to tempo. And step 4 is learn page 2 of the A piece to tempo. Because the A piece that I want to learn is 6 pages long, so learning a third of the A piece means learning 2 pages. Most of my goals are broken down into 4. One of them is broken down into 6, because I actually want to run this goal into November. And then some of them have less than 4, because I couldn't think of 4 steps for them. So I'm just going to get them done in 2 weeks. So for example, the Bible study one is week 1, create nighttime routine. Week 2, apply. And then just keep applying it. I also have stick to my YouTube upload schedule on here, which is just stick to my YouTube upload schedule. There's not really steps that I want to do that. I just want to get it done. And I've got like some things that are more tasks. I've got a particular YouTube video I want to go out, and that's just on here as a goal. And then I've got something to do with accent work that I seem to have broken down into 3, but actually I reckon the third one is going to take me 2 weeks. So breaking it down into 3 is kind of fine, because out of the 4 weeks that I'm going to be able to work on this goal, 2 weeks are going to be taken up with the same sub goal of it. So once you've written all of that down, I think you are probably ready to start tackling these goals. And I think this works a lot better for me, because thinking, oh, I've got a whole month to complete this goal makes me feel like I can just put it off and work on it tomorrow, and then put it off and work on it, I'll start Monday and blah 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 blah. Whereas if I've broken it down and I'm like, I've actually only got 1 month to learn 3 pages of music, that's quite a lot to learn. So therefore it's kind of like, it focuses me a bit more. So I think this is a really helpful way of doing it. And then the only other suggestion would be to hold yourself accountable in some way. So I'm going to hold myself accountable now by stating, I'm not going to go into detail of all my breaking down of all my goals, because that's going to take a while, but I'm going to share my goals for October with you so that I can hold myself accountable. And maybe I'll do like a little post on my community tab or something at the end of October to say which of these I achieved. Goal 1, prepare B piece and third of A piece. Goal 2, which is the one that's going to run into November, complete all units of my Pilates qualification. I want to book a performing gig in a restaurant or pub or something like that. I'm actually going to try and vlog this process, so stay tuned for that video, we'll see if that happens. 4 is launch mermaiding. See this right here? This is a mermaid fin. Basically, I want to be able to be a professional mermaid as one of my side hustles, so I want to launch that this month. Goal 5 is to do with sight reading. I want to be able to sight read musical theatre pieces by the end of the month, is effectively what I've broken it down into. Goal 6 is organ. I want to be able to play 3 pieces on the organ and have filmed them all. 7 is the Bible reading, 10 minutes Bible and pray before bed. 8 is to do with the health goal. 9 is sticking to my YouTube upload schedule. 10 is to really focus on my general American accent and make sure I've got that like nailed, and also learn the phonetic alphabet to help with that, but also to help with learning future accents. And 11 is to upload a particular video that I want to do, which is related to one of my side hustles as well. So those are my goals for October. If you want to hold yourself accountable by dropping your goals down in the comments and then coming back and saying whether you achieved them or not, then that would be great. Feel free to do so. I hope your goals go well. Also, don't stress if you don't achieve them, because I reckon the chances are I'm not going to get all of these done, and that's okay. I think it's like that saying, aim for the stars and you might get the moon, or something like that. Like, I might not, in fact I'm very unlikely to get all of these done, but if I'm aiming to get them done then I might get halfway there, whereas if I wasn't aiming at all I might not do any work towards some of them. So I think setting goals and aiming for something is good, but don't put too much pressure on yourself to actually get all of them done, and it's totally okay if you don't. Okay, that is it for this video. I hope it's been helpful. Please subscribe if you have enjoyed it, and thank you very much for watching. Bye!